Vitamin B12, also called as extrinsic factor of Castle. Active form of B12 is methylcobalamin, and this is also the transportation form. Absorption of vitamin B12 is of importance because it requires intrinsic factor which is synthesized and secreted by parietal cells of gastric mucosa. One molecule of intrinsic factor can combine with two molecules of B12 and this complex gets absorbed from the terminal part of the ileum. This then enters portal circulation. From there it reaches liver where it is stored as ado B12 and the stores can last for 2 to 3 years. Hydroxycobalamin is the injectable form of B12. Coming to sources of B12, B12 is mainly present in non-vegetarian source and deficiency is more common among strict vegetarian. The only source of B12 among strict vegetarian diet people is the curd which contains lactobacillus bacteria and this has got the capacity to synthesize B12. Around 2 microgram per day is recommended daily allowance of B12 and the requirement increases during pregnancy and lactation. Functions of B12, it is required for generation of the active form of tetrahydrofolic acid from its methyl form. Cobalamin accepts the methyl group from tetrahydrofolic acid and gets converted to methylcobalamin, and this methyl group in turn is donated to homocysteine which gets methylated to form methionine. So B12 is also required for the formation of methionine which in turn takes part in transmethylation reaction. Apart from this, methionine is also required for the metabolism of short chain fatty acids, and these fatty acids end up with formation of prophenyl CoA which gets carboxylated to form methylmalonyl CoA, and this gets converted to succinyl CoA by enzyme mutase and this requires B12 as coenzyme. Coming to deficiency manifestation of B12, in deficiency of cobalamin, active form of folate is not generated and this is known as folate trap. Because of folic acid deficiency, the DNA nucleotides are not synthesized and these patients or individuals develop megaloblastic anemia due to delayed DNA synthesis but continued protein synthesis. Now, B12 deficiency is also associated with pernicious anemia, which is characterized by antibodies against the parietal cell secreting intrinsic factor. So, in deficiency of intrinsic factor, B12 is not absorbed, and this can manifest both as megaloblastic anemia and pernicious anemia. Now, B12 deficiency is also associated with increased concentration of homocysteine in blood because homocysteine is not getting converted to methionine. Now, this increased homocysteine is very harmful because this causes oxidation of low density lipoprotein and it activates the platelet aggregation and thrombus formation. Next deficiency manifestation is demyelination. B12 deficiency, with B12 deficiency there is a decreased methionine, so there is decreased methylation of phosphatidylethanol to phosphatidylcholine. So decreased formation of myelin sheath by sphingomyelin, and the other factor is accumulation of short chain fatty acids like methylmalonic acid. So they cause defective demyelination of the neurons in cerebral cortex and also in spinal cord. Involving both the sensory and the motor tracts of the spinal cord. Hence, subacute combined degeneration is common in B12 deficiency, manifesting as paresthesia, tingling sensation, symmetrical paresthesia of both the limbs, loss of vibration sense, loss of position sense, Romberg's test will be positive, Babinski sign will be positive, and Babinski signs will be positive. So these are the deficiency manifestation of B12.